Welcome to Sunshine Cathedral's Queer God Squad. It's Monday, June 1st, 2026. I am Bishop Darrell Watkins, the Senior Minister of the Sunshine Cathedral for the Queer God Squad. Joining me today, and most days, are Bishop Robert Griffin, Reverend Dr. Ann Atwell, and Reverend Kevin Tisdall. Visit sunshinecathedral.org to learn more about us.
Queer God Squad was created by Hotspots Happening Now in support of our mission to explore the value of faith in the LGBTQ community.
There is no streaming TV show like this in the entire world. In 2026, we are celebrating the 41st anniversary of Hotspots magazine, with Queer News Tonight sharing over 14,000 stories and 12 million views so far.
We are the largest nonprofit LGBTQ media organization in America, and we encourage you to support our mission to inform, entertain, and educate our community and allies.
This is the Sunshine Cathedral perspective. Gay bishop shares painful year-long immigration separation. In an interview with St. Louis Public Radio, STLPR, the Right Reverend Deon Johnson, Bishop of the Episcopal Diocese of Missouri, detailed how a routine immigration appointment abruptly upended his family's life. The discussion shed light on the structural inefficiencies and harsh realities of a broken U.S. immigration system. The crisis began when a standard green card appointment in Mexico took an unexpected turn, trapping Bishop Johnson's husband across the border. This administrative hurdle triggered a painful year-long separation that severely impacted their children and tested the family's resilience. Navigating this ordeal as an immigrant himself, Bishop Johnson experienced firsthand the psychological and logistical toll inflicted by bureaucratic bottlenecks. By choosing to publicly share his family's traumatic ordeal, Bishop Johnson aims to humanize the immigration debate. He highlights that if a high-profile religious leader with significant institutional support can face such devastating disruption, ordinary families without resources are far more vulnerable. Ultimately, his story serves as a poignant call for comprehensive immigration reform centered on dignity and family concerns. If you hadn't had a chance to read the whole detailed interview, it is worth reading as to how Bishop Johnson and his husband tell their story and their experience about going to Mexico for a routine interview and then being denied entry back and green card to come back into America, basically being told to his husband, you have to now live in Mexico for a whole year. And then as you go through the interview and you read it, you later learn that should not have happened. That the person went back to do the interview with then said, why did you take so long to come back for your green card? And he said, well, we were told we had to live here a year. And the response was, there's nothing that in your application indicated any such thing was required of you. So who knows what the first person thought, belief he held, whatever reason, that's what they were told. But Bishop Johnson and his family went through his whole year-long, really traumatic, obviously traumatic experience with him, family, his husband in one place, and him being able to go back and forth to visit. But there's also the children, things that got missed for family, and just experiences that didn't happen for his family for a whole year because of this bureaucracy. And so when the story broke, I sent him off a little message just saying how we're here for you, we're praying for you, and so, I mean, he wrote back saying thank you, but it's like it was a very traumatic experience for him and his family, and for his mom, who's with him also, who basically came in to help take care of the children while this was also going on. But this is just one of those reminders that we have a broken system that needs to be fixed in the immigration side. That it is broken beyond words. Even before the Trump administration came out, we always talked about reform, reform, reform. And this ain't reformed, in my opinion. This is just blatant targeting and harassment, and it rips families apart without looking at the whole story.
Well, that's where it starts, is to see this as that these are people, not problems.
Right.
And so how can we get people who want to be here, who would be good for us to be here, how do we get them in? How do we make it easier, not harder, easier for them to be here to work or live? And then once here, easier to become citizens if they want to be, if they want to take the test, if they want to, do all the things you do, and get the references or whatever. We need a clear path that everyone knows what it is, and whoever you are, you can work the path. Even if you came here and applied for asylum at the border, which is legal, P.S. Even then, okay, now I'm here as a refugee, but how can I stay as just on a green card? And then how can I apply for citizenship? And there should be like this 5-10 year process where my dreams can come true, especially as long as I'm contributing to this country, right? So I'm making it better just by being here, and I'm safer because I'm here. There just ought to be a way. There ought to be a way. And the only reason is to throw up roadblocks is xenophobia, racism, just bigotry. And so we have to find a way to see people as people, because for people we have compassion if we're any damn good at all. But for problems, for issues, then we just have opinions and we can fight about them, and that's fun. No, but when we see these are people, and these are children, and these are families, these are humans, that surely broadens the thing. And here's what people always rely on, but they're here illegally, we just want them to come, right? Well, first of all, we make it almost impossible. We all have our own immigration stories. We've got a couple in our own life. It's not clear, and it's not easy, and there's very little forgiveness for missteps. So there's that. Second of all, if you voted for a felon, if you voted for an adjudicated rapist, if you voted for someone who instigated an attack on our Capitol, the law is not what's important to you.
No.
So let's never say that mess again. If you're part of MAGA, if you've 1, 2, or 3 times voted for Trump, then legality is not what stokes your fire. So let's just don't insult the rest of us with that mess anymore. These are people, and when we think of them as people and treat them as people, we're going to come up with solutions that's going to work for everybody.
Yeah. Stories like this remind us that this can truly happen to anybody who has immigrant status.
Yeah.
But something I want to throw out is that it happens to people from maybe the Caribbean, from Mexico, that kind of. It doesn't seem to happen so much to people from, say England,
Sweden,
Norway. Those people don't really seem to have this problem. But let's face it, our immigration system is horribly broken. I think we need to put Bishop Durrell in charge of it because I really liked his ideas. Let's just kind of streamline this. But prior to Trump being elected, it was broken. Now it's kind of a train wreck.
Yeah.
I, in a second, am going to do a variation and fugue on what all of you have been talking about. I'm going to go back first to the idea that the adjudicated felon is in office. I think we need to look at his family and how some of his family members became citizens. They scream about anchor babies. I think Barron would be an anchor baby. They scream about bringing in family under the guise of that anchor baby. I believe that his wife, his current wife, his third or fourth wife, I forget what number she is, came into the country under false pretenses, got a green card for things that she could never do. And then she brought her parents in under that umbrella.
She had like a PhD in nuclear physics or something. Well, she forgot to go to college, but whatever.
She failed to go to college, but understood and I'm going to be a little snarky here, but she realized what a poll could do for her. Just saying. All right, enough snarkiness. The system, as we've said here, is broken. The system did not get broken over the last couple of years. It has been broken for decades. Ronald Reagan talked about how to improve, of all people, Ronald Reagan said that we've got to improve our immigrant system because it's not working. So we've talked about what we can do. First thing, stop demonizing those who are not yet American citizens, because every single person in this country, their family tree somewhere along the line was not an American citizen. They had to follow a process, a legitimate, understandable process in order to become a citizen. Second, reflect on who we are as a nation. What do we want the world to look at us as? Are we that country that actually respects each other? Are we that country that actually loves our neighbor? Are we that country that follows principles of whatever religious or non-religious group that we're part of? I know some atheists who are the most beautiful human beings on the world. They don't look at a human being in any other way other than that they are rightful and they have a right to be who they are, how they are. And remember to love. Remember to love everybody equally. And maybe just as important as everything that we've talked about, we cannot be silent. We have got to speak up when we see inequality. We've got to speak up when we see someone who is being mistreated because of where they were born. And I always remember this little thing where people say, you're in America, you got to learn to speak English. You got to understand that these people speak more languages than you do.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's important to understand that they have bent over backwards. They have jumped through hoops. They have learned a language that just doesn't make sense to some Americans. But yet and still, they try to be what America is supposed to be. And we have got to support them. We have got to be vociferous about our support for those who are coming into this country and find a way to make it legal. Take a year, take 5 years, take 10 years, whatever it does. Make sure that they are safe while they're going through the process and not arrested for doing the right thing.
And the quick answer that a lot of people give when you challenge these types of issues is, well, maybe you should go live somewhere else.
Oh, gosh.
And my quick response is, I was born here.
Yeah.
I was raised here.
Yeah.
I am an American. I am a veteran. Where do you want me to go? So that's not the quick answer for anybody.
And if other people treat us the way we treat them, where could we go?
Exactly. So,
Yep.
yeah.
Hallelujah.
And that's today with the Queer God Squad. Thank you for joining the Queer God Squad today. We are here daily at 3 p.m. to have some fun and to discuss what our LGBTQ community is talking about. Please like and share this and other episodes of the Queer God Squad. Sunshine Cathedral is the world's leading progressive queer church. Progressive, queer, and God are words that naturally should go together. Remember that we're all in this together. Also remember, you are God's miracle, not God's mistake. Until next time, we are the Queer God Squad.